Going on, everybody? Welcome to I guess the 90K pregame. Gosh, that went fast. Thank you so much to everybody who's been subscribing. Holy moly. I'm on tonight's live stream, just kind of hanging out, talking about some new things that are on the table here. But there is a much larger event that's coming. This channel is rapidly approaching 90,000 subscribers, and I have a huge celebratory event, probably the most exciting giveaway that I have done. Everything that I'm going to be giving away is a secret as of right now, but I think you'll all be very excited. You do not have to be a special member of something. You don't have to be supporting me on Patreon. If you are watching this video right now, you can get in on that giveaway, which is TBD, right? So there's no information on entry yet. And I have yet to unveil, the prizes, anything like that. But it will likely be either next weekend or the following weekend. So if you are not subscribed, whether you're watching this live or in the future, subscribe. Because I have some seriously, and I mean seriously, epic stuff to give away. Welcome to another live episode of Knives and Nonsense. How is everybody doing tonight? Hello, Knife Eclectic, Ryan Smock, Sinister Knife. What's going on? Imagine not subscribing. Well, that's very kind. I imagine there are plenty of people who take one peek at my channel for 1 second and go, nope, not interested in this guy. But I appreciate those of you who enjoy my content. This has been a wild ride. You like the deadlock? Yeah, me too. Real glad that I traded Scott for this. I don't do a lot of trading. It's pretty rare. This was my first trade in a year and a half. Scott said I have a deadlock Model C that is absolutely mint and perfect. And he wanted my full titanium Eclipse Bowie. And so we made the swap. And I'm very happy with that. It's very rare that I will trade, and I would say even more rare that I will trade a Hinderer, especially with their second market value. But I really wanted a Model C, and there was an opportunity right there, right? So I went for it. Christopher Little, thanks so much for the donation. Can't wait for the Factor. Dying for Shift unboxing. The Shift unboxing is coming. Yes, it is. Yeah. I don't think you've seen it yet. No. And yeah, the Factor review is coming, and then the production or the pre-orders for production Factors, I think, are coming soon. I don't know that for sure. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Remember during the 80K live stream where I said I'm going to take all, because you guys are being way too nice with donations. You guys collectively ended up donating a pretty crazy amount of money. So I took all of that and I bought one of the things that I'm going to be giving away for 90K. So I just figured that was the fair thing to do. But you're going to be pumped with, you guys are going to be pumped with what I found and what I bought. Let's see here. Just got an XM18, totally worth it. Awesome, yeah, that's cool. Is that your first one, Ryan? Is that your first one? Is that a Blackout Malibu? It is. Yeah, I have this before, everybody, sorry. But yeah, I have this and I have both of them. Let's go on to the next question here. Let's see here. 700 for full tie hinders. No, it's much more than that. A full titanium hinder, right? To buy an XM18 3.5 inch stock is $425. To buy a titanium scale is $200. So you're looking at $625 bare minimum. I would say you'd be lucky to find one in perfect condition for $700. If you want to go XM24 in full titanium, you're looking at $800. But getting a mint, you're going to pay a lot more for that, for sure. Craig Brown, thanks for the donation. How amazing is the new Brown FSD? Keep up the great content, man. Cheers. The Brown FSD. I haven't seen how it, I don't know. I've not seen that. Let's see. Got a thumbs up. Rock wall. Yeah, for sure. It does. That thing does rock. Absolutely. What pen? Oh, I finally. Oh, the folks Tactile Turn hooked me up. I'll be honest with you guys. They hooked me up with a full zirconium side click pen, which is far and away the most expensive pen I own at $250. But I freaking love this thing. I love everything from Tactile Turn. I just freaking love it. It's so good. These pens are awesome. They're so good. I've never been interested in pens before, ever. I'm just like, yeah, pen, right? And then the tactile stuff, God, it's cool. American made, too. Real nice. Man, their machining is good. So good. That thing, unless I dropped it straight down with the tip out, I really don't think I could hurt this. I really feel like this is a freaking indestructible pen. You know? Giving away a James Brand Redstone. I'm really glad that you guys enjoyed that review. It seems like a lot of people enjoyed that review. And I know there were a lot of folks commenting, this is so rare for you to be so negative. The truth is that when it's a little teeny tiny company who's just trying to get things going, right? If they put out something that's just not super great, what I try to do is tell them privately, like, hey, listen, you don't want me doing a negative review on this, right? There are some things that need to be changed, and that you know, if these things are changed, then let me take a look at it and let me, you know, wait until I can honestly say something positive about it. But I don't want to stamp you out of existence. Not that I'm important enough to do that, but I don't want to do that with a little teeny tiny company. I see a company like James Brand who's growing, and their growth, the foundation of their growth is deception or very, very creatively deceptive marketing. And then I get my hands on a knife like that. Yeah, I'm gonna destroy it. It really was bad. And they were faking 5-star reviews. Like, what? No way. There's no way. That knife was total trash. And unbelievable. But I'm really happy that, you know, the people who watched were like, yeah, this is, you know, on point. I was pumped, you know, just gotta say. I mean, I feel like you guys agree with me there. Like a teeny tiny company that's just trying to get going. It's their first or second product and they're trying to get it out there. If all I can say are negative things, then that's not helpful to this company that's trying to learn how to do it right. If I feel like that's really the case, then no, I'm not going to just blast them. I'm going to say, here's the thing. You don't want this out here like this. This is not what you want to bring to the table. You know, I feel like that's the fair thing to do for a smaller company that's not trying to trick anybody, right? I feel like that's fair. I don't know. You should read the reviews. Hilarious bot language. Knife good. Eat supper. Microwave potato. It's just words that are like, yes, humans like these words, right? Yes. Batman movie, potato, microwave, popcorn. Yes. Popsicle, summer, bicycle, ride, lake boat, knife, good. Let's see. What's second from the left? Holy crap, guys. The Savivi Conspirator, which is a full-size 8-inch knife, 3.5-inch blade, button lock. Micarta Nitro V, little slot for the reverse flick. Golly, as if they didn't already release 2 models recently that were nearly perfect. The Altus and the Cogent, right? Excuse me. This guy's around the corner and arguably the best one yet. Here's the problem. The other 2 were $72. high, but still budget knives. This one's 80 bucks. They're creeping up there. And I made a point to talk about that in the video. Is this their best button lock design? Is this Savivi's best button lock design? Yeah, probably. But it's not a budget knife, not by my definition, and certainly not by I think the vast majority of people consider budget knives to be 50 or less. It's 75 or less on this channel, right? It's the price is creepy. So anybody who buys this, you're gonna freaking love it. Man, it's a good design. It's so good. But they're just, 80 bucks. And it's a Savivi, and it's just micarta and Nitro V. What I said was, in the review, I said, look, whatever you're using to justify the price on this thing, can we just not do G10 and do D2, or do G10 and 9CR18 MLV and charge us 55 or 60 bucks for it? People will be okay with that. But 80 bucks, I'd rather pay 50 to 55 for D2 and G10 than 80 bucks for micarta and Nitro V. That's my honest opinion. Like, let's take the budget thing to the next level and just do it, let's just get it done right. Like, people want that value, and that's too good of a design to be creeping over that budget mark. But it is excellent. Just bear in mind, it is a positive review. It's not an angry review. It's a positive review, for sure. Go off the gripper. I do like this. The gripper is real. This is a real aggressive knife. I will say that I am not the biggest fan of the rear flipper, but I do like the front flipper, and I love the shape and size of the hole there. And it does live up to its name, right? You're not going to drop this guy. You're not gonna. This is a super cool knife. Just real, like, aggressive. It kind of gives me Strider vibes a little bit, but it's definitely still doing its own thing. But yeah, fans of Spyderco Knives, this feels like, it's like a future, like, Space Warrior Spyderco that's also, like, kind of a barbarian, and has some barbarian cousins or something, or maybe is a barbarian cousin. I don't know. Yeah, but the what is it? The Grant gripper? Yeah, pretty cool. It's a cool knife. It's not going to be for everybody, but it's a cool knife. I mean, do you really think, though, Ryan, that it's exactly the same thing as the crawler? I handled the crawler. It's not the same. I mean, we have a similar profile, right? A similar design philosophy or design approach, but we have two totally different personalities, aesthetics, right? The Arcane's design language is way too unique. It's totally different. But I'm, okay. I respect. Reminds you of it. Okay. All right. That's fair. Can you get some winter ting? Oh boy. Let's ting it up here. Oh, my rib cage. Oh, God. Guys, it never told. And let me tell you, spoiler alert, the next time I do my top 5 most carried knives, guess which one's on top. This guy already has battle damage to the pocket clip. I've already nicked up the blade a little bit. I can't not carry this. I know that it's, this is a special factor. This is one of very few prototypes that exist, and it's mine. He was kind enough to give it to me. I don't care. I can't not use this. I don't want this just sitting and just being preserved in a case. I love this. Ah, God. So good. So good. It's too good. It is. And listen, when you try to get a feel for something when you're watching a video and you're listening to somebody talk about it, you're trying to get a feel. And those of you who have been watching me for a long time, right? When you get your hands on the knives that I am, real excited about, I feel like most people are like, yeah, this is kind of like translating correctly. Nothing that I can say, nothing that I can say can prepare you for this. It's going to be better than what you expect. It's going to feel better. You know why? Because it's different. You've never handled anything like this. You've never felt any. When I messed with this for the first time, I was like, what? It's just a different sensation. It operates in a different way because everything's magnetic. And also, Brian Winters is a genius. So, yeah. Can I have a kiss once we hit 90K? You know, a kiss now. That's me blowing you a kiss, slushy. How you like the Project X so far? I love pretty much everything about it. Let's see here. So it's very hindery, extremely. The one thing that I don't like is kind of what I brought up in the unboxing. I don't want this. I don't want this, like, you have to put your hands within these parameters. I want the butt end shaved down. And I understand that that's a lock-in thing. Like, this is definitely a outdoor work knife, and it's designed correctly, right? Even the flipper tab is knocked down for people who, they're like, I love hinders, but I just, the freaking flipper tab. Even the flipper tab's knocked down, and you can see the jimping. They cut it off right here, so you don't land in that area. It's all great. We got the tool integrated into the backspacer. Always cracks me up. Like, no matter what Rick Hinderer does, there's always people complaining. And people are, with the old Hinderers, there's like, well, you got a flat end, you got a hex, and you got a Phillips, and just like a grab bag of hardware, and they just threw it on there. Bull. So Hinderer's like, okay, I'll give you the tool, and it's just one tool, and it takes the whole thing apart. And now I do, I make my knives in the United States. I make them modular. I make a ton of different models. I, make skinny and fatty and shorter and longer versions. I invented the tri-way pivot system. Basically, I have a knife for everybody, right? And so he does this, which is kind of a combination of all of that. And I got people going, I don't like the shape of hardware. Dang it, it's just stupid Rick Hender's catering to my needs. Come on, man. He got rid of the free spinning pivot. He got rid of it. Yes, we got a captive pivot. We don't have a hex dang anymore. And the tool is the backspacer. People complaining. Come on. You're forcing it if you're complaining about it. Now, people who don't like the aesthetic or don't like the general aesthetic of Hinder knives, okay, that's valid because that's just like a, that's a preference thing. Sure. And I guess people who are like, I don't like the shape of the hardware, but that's really nitpicky, right? It works. Yes, it is. Yeah, you see what's on it? Yeah. Here, let me zoom in for you. Yeah. That's the Metal Complex helmet. So this, you haven't seen the unboxing for it yet. This is mine. This was actually a gift, a surprise gift from Scott. He had the MC logo and helmet laser etched into the blade of this freaking awesome integral. This thing has also been in my pocket. I've been literally going back and forth every day between the Factor and the 904 here. And I was so pumped. Like, the laser work on my helmet is so cool. This is a permanent part of my collection now. Absolutely stunning. And fall shut. Oh, totally fall shut. Big, nasty, aggressive harpoon recurve Tanto. And on an integral frame. M390 DLC titanium. Sick knife. Just freaking awesome. I love carrying this thing. And it's gonna, over time, it's gonna get marked up because it's gonna be a knife that I carry, especially that black frame. But I love that Scott was incredibly generous to do that. Surprised me. He's totally out of the blue. Did that for me. It's just really nice. Non-flipper hinder when Rick. Non-flippers are pretty rare, but your best bet is DLT. The most non-flipper drops that I have seen in the last 8 years, they've been at DLT. I feel like half of them have been at DLT. Holy cow, there's 245 people in this live stream tonight, and I didn't let you guys know. And we're just hanging out. That's cool. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. James Murray says, howdy, y'all. First time making it to a live stream. What's up, James? Thanks. I appreciate you popping in. You got your XM18 from Smoky Mountain Knife Works. Really? It was just sitting there? Huh. That's lucky. Nice. First time live viewer, K-Stu says, first time live viewer, what would you recommend for a budget front flipper? The Savivi Imperium is an incredible budget front. Chat, anybody in here have the Savivi Imperium? The Savivi Imperium is an awesome front flipper. That's one of my favorites for, I can't remember what they are. 40, are they $50? I don't know. Surely someone in here's got an Imperium. But they're awesome. I love them. You have the copper shred one. Cool. There you go. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of different flavors. Teen Bushcraft says, what's the pen? This is a zirconium side click from Tactile Turn. Extremely recommendable. The zirconium one's really expensive at $250, but the titanium ones are $100. And, I just really wanted a pen in zirconium, and they just hooked me up, which was really nice. I would recommend just picking up a titanium one because I like it. I like my titanium turn bolt just as much. Let's see. Pay the extra 20 for the Timascus bolt. Total. Absolutely, I agree. 10 to 20 bucks more, and you get a little Timascus bolt on there. Oh man, that's just great. It's just great. I love this. If you're gonna go with a turn bolt, just get the little bolt on. Get the little Timascus bolt on there. This thing's awesome. I use those pens every day. Those are now these two pens are the pens that write the schedule for the channel. Oh, also, my dedicated channel flashlight has changed. The one that I will use in reviews now is this guy right here. I think I maybe mentioned this I'm going to start linking these in my Amazon store because these are just generically just really good. This is an i3 EOS in titanium, a $35 AAA titanium flashlight, low, high. That's it. Bill clip, pocket clip, but I wish that this was, able to tail stand it, whatever, it can't. Everything else, it's perfect for especially for my knife reviews, like getting inside and look. The low mode, which is always the first click, is pretty much all you'll ever need. And it's such a tiny, compact light. I love it. And I would recommend getting the aluminum one because it's even lighter. $35. They're great. Hey MC, I'm stuck at the $60 budget knife area. It's a good entry knife to a more expensive range. Thanks for the wonderful daily content. Hey, no problem. Thank you. I mean, since we're talking about Savivi, one of my favorite budget knives ever is the Praxis. I also like the, if we're going to talk other brands, the QSP Penguin. Kubi makes countless things that are incredible. But if you're talking about entry, like into the next territory, if you're trying to graduate up the ladder, you need to start looking at Kershaw. Because Kershaw has the $80 to $120 territory absolutely dominated. Like the Blur, even though it's assisted, is incredible. The Knockout is an incredible knife. Arguably, Kershaw's best U.S.-made knife is the Bare Knuckle, which I don't know how much that thing costs now, guys. Is it $85? Or is that where they're at? It's still really good, the Bare Knuckle. And then beyond that, there's a lot of different stuff. I think Kaiser has a lot of they still have a good grasp, actually Kaiser makes a lot of great stuff. Their Vanguard line in competition with Kershaw, their Vanguard line is very good. They have some very good models, right? That I really the medium sheepdog is incredible at what is it, $80? Micarta and 154 cm, the Vanguard Sheepdog, the medium-sized one, is amazing. Right around that price point if you're trying to climb the ladder. And then some of their premium stuff is the next, the ladder above that. But there's just so much, man. But yeah, Kaiser Vanguard and Kershaw's USA line are probably some of the most recommendable moving up. Thoughts on the Para 3 and 204P at Knife Works? Ooh, really? Ooh, that sounds nice. Is it available right now, Will Neal? Because if so, I'd recommend you just go buy that. Para 3 and 204P. I mean, you're going to have to I would recommend immediately turning around and getting yourself an MXG deep carry clip, which is a game changer for the Spyderco Para 3. This is the ideal clip. I bought that clip 2, 3, I don't know how long ago. My wife bought me this knife. It's one of my, I think this is my most carried knife ever. But that clip was the best decision I ever made. $20, it completely changes this knife. If you want to go beyond that, RGT skinny scales, very good, very good. Ultimate EDC build right here, seriously. Spyderco Para 3, RGT skinny scales, MXG deep carry clip. You could literally be, this is a one and done build. You could if you're trying to like maximize, long-term utility and you want to go one and done, there it is right there. MXG RGT Para 3. Easy to remember. Yeah, it sounds like the Winter Bladeco Factor, the production model is going to be $375. OEM is best deck. We got going on. Oh, if you try the Urban Survival Gear pen, I'll send you one of mine. I'd be interested in checking it out. I can't promise I'd do a video on it, but I'd be interested in taking a look at it. If you want to reach out to me on Instagram or email me at metalcomplex87@gmail.com. Send me some pictures. I guess I'm kind of into pens now. Oh my gosh. Speaking of other things I'm into. Gosh. I have to wait. I'm not allowed to say anything yet, but oh my gosh. I just bought a watch that I have to wait because the official announcement's not. If you're into watches, there's a watch coming from someone we know really well in the knife community. And it's just, I'm so pumped to see this collab. And then I saw the price on it. Oh, essentially they're selling a $500 watch for $200. And I mean that. I'm not exaggerating. I mean like general competition in the watch world. You're talking a $450 to $500 watch, and they have a $200 price tag on it. It's incredible. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I've never been so excited for a watch. Yeah, if you're into watches, there's some exciting stuff coming, and I don't think you'll be able to miss it if you follow Knife Nuts Podcast on Instagram. Just go ahead and do that right now. If you're not, Knife Nuts Podcast, that's who you want to be following for watch info. I can't tell you yet. Just follow Knife Nuts Podcast. Just follow them. When would the Winter Bladeco be? I don't know. He made mentions of having a website functional by late April. I would assume pre-orders would follow after that, but I can't say. I'm not Brian Winters. I don't know any of this. This is just rumors blowing around in the wind. And I don't want, I know that he gets pestered all the time anyway. And he's a super nice guy. And I keep saying, I'm like, do you want me to stop talking about the factory? And he's like, no, it's fine. So, yeah, he's working on it. It's going to be real, and he's going to make as many as he can, but just expect it to be popular. Expect it to go quickly. You're going to have to be ready, finger on the trigger, ready, because they will go. These are going to be hot items. His Instagram says DM for dad jokes. It does. That's awesome. Man, he's super cool. He sends me videos of stuff that he's working on. He's just like just jacking around with stuff. He just comes up with these insane, like everything that he makes. Listen, the Factor's awesome, but he's got like 10 more ideas that are just as good as the Factor, and they all operate differently. And I'm just like, dude, how? The knife world has needed you for so long. Like we've been searching in the dark, man, for Brian Winters. We had no idea where you were, and we finally found you. Like, give us these. He's such a nice guy. I love watching the videos of the stuff he comes up with. It's super cool. You like the blacked out Malibu, huh? Yeah. They're pricey. They're going to be about $280, which I know is way up from where they were. Everything's up though, guys. But yeah, this is a sweet knife. The textured Malibu is definitely the best one. Outside of the blue, they did a blue one. I wasn't cool enough to get my hands on one of those. I tried. I was like, can you please tell me one? Please. And they're like, no, we don't have any more. Yeah. I always pay for this stuff. Just gonna let you guys, like, I still pay for it, right? Even when I get special favors. I don't like being handed extremely sought after things for free. I would much rather pay for it. Magnets, freaking magnets. These things are amazing. They are, definitely. Little guy fourth from this is the D-Rocket Designs Talon single action OTF. Made in the USA, M390. In this case, we have G10 in steel, but they do make these in full titanium. It's a mini single action. It's just fun, right? The edge is incredibly thick, but the fit and finish is good. The blade plays relatively low. And you can get these at GP Knives. Use my link for GP Knives down in the description. The D-Rocket Designs Talon, Tallin. Yeah, they're just fun. This is just like kind of like a desk letter opener thing. They're made well. Fit and finish is good. It's just, it's just meant to scratch that fidgety itch. Just fun. Decent amount of power for a teeny tiny little thing. And it's got a lock on it. So you can, be great. It looks like a tiny version of the, what did the Joker carry? Fun fact, Heath Ledger had numerous OTFs in that movie. Something from Smith & Wesson. He had a Microtech Ultratech when they dumped all of his weapons out. But the main knife that you see him carrying, a lot of people are going to say, Dalton Cupid. It was actually a clone of the Dalton Cupid. It wasn't even a real Dalton Cupid. It was a clone. It's a bunch of blade sleuths on blade forms figured that out because of some key indicators, some things that the cloners got incorrect about the Dalton Cupid. So if you've ever wondered, what's that knife from the Batman movie with the Joker, the Dalton Cupid? Except it's a freaking clone. They couldn't even get a real one for the movie. Let's see. A lot of D-Rocket things look interesting, but are really just toys. I mean, dude, look out on the look what I have on the table. Have you seen my collection? I collect a ton, like people, I think knife people in general, like it's okay to like have a collection that's purely based on utilitarian function, right? But I would say most of what I'm interested in is more for non-utilitarian reasons, right? So yeah, like the D-Rocket design is kind of ridiculous, but then again, it's like 90% of my collection is kind of ridiculous, right? Oh, by the way, shameless plug time. If you're wondering about those folks in the chat with the little helmets beside their names, like Mike Hale there with the golden helmet, those are people who have joined my Knights of the Round membership program. Access is down in the description, but it will grant you a badge beside your name that will change color as time progresses, starting out with blue, then green, then purple, then red, then gold, and then finally platinum or celestial, which we actually have had a few people meet at the 2-year mark. You'll also gain access to the exclusive Excalibur emojis, which my knights are showing off in chat right now. It is $2 a month, and it supports the channel. The badges will also show up under regular videos on my channel, not just live streams. So I'll always know if you're a knight, and everybody else commenting will also know that you're a knight. It appears for everybody. So the link is the very first link in the description underneath this live stream if you're interested. We can jump. I really like the looks of the Spyderco Chaparral with bird's eye maple handles. Anyone have one? I'm wondering how the wood holds up. If I'm not mistaken, I think Nick Shabazz has one, and if it's not, I don't know. The only things that I've ever heard about it is that people who own them speak highly of them. And I would, with the Chaparral, which is a pretty flagship model for Spyderco, I would trust pretty much anything they do with it. I think that you're probably good to go with that knife. There's Scott. What's up, man? How are you? I got the 904 out on the table. This thing has basically sharing my pocket permanently with the Factor, and I like the size on it too. But man, so excited about this, the action, and it's broken in better and better and better since I've had it because I've just been sitting around flipping it. Yeah, have very much enjoyed this. This has had some time out in the garage, actually, breaking down boxes, has opened up plenty of stuff in the kitchen that just makes it in, for the mail. So yeah, I've put it to work, man. I appreciate it. It's wonderful. Josh Tabor, welcome to the Knights of the Round. Knights, raise your swords for Josh. Enjoy the helmets and swords. Appreciate it. Thank you very much for joining. The 904 is Dan Carahan. I think you can see. No, you probably can't see it right there. Carrarhan or En. I can't tell because it's in cursive, but it's Dan Carahan. And then the 904. That's a production. He does customs. That's a production 904. I believe Best Deck did the OEM work for that. And they did an awesome job. He did all the CAD work, what he told me. So the translation was really good. Stan Mauser said, Scott, if you want a second opinion, send me one too. Oh, man. Let's see. Does anyone know if I can put bearings in the Kershaw Emerson CQC 7K? If you can, I don't know who does. I don't know if there's like a generic size. I know that the taco bearings, whoever does those, makes a ton of them. I know that the skiff bearings, they make a lot of different, bearings that'll fit a lot of different things. I would start there, check eBay or check the manufacturer, check their websites, right? Sorry if you can hear background noise. My kids are watching Turning Red for the 5th or 6th time upstairs. Wow. Hilarious movie. Absolutely hilarious. But, after like the 3rd time watching it, I'm like, man, I'm going to go have some Gatorade. I can hear the early 2000s boy band music coming through the ceiling. Let's see. Honey Badger for best beater. Rat 2 versus Honey Badger? Rat 2. Rat 2, definitely. I bought another rat for my truck. Another one, because that's just the knife I wanted to throw in there for a beater. Fixed beater? Becker. Cost efficient fixed beater? Becker BK2. Folding knife? If you're just going to beat on it and you just need something reliable that you basically never have to adjust, it won't break the the rat. It almost doesn't matter what steel. AUS 8, D2, whatever. Just, if you're just going to thrash it, it doesn't even matter. My kid is finally done with Encanto. Oh, God, I know. Jeez, we watched that movie so many times. And it was good, too. I loved it. I loved Encanto, but I just, they just picked the same thing over and over again, right? My daughter forever was Frozen. Then it was Trolls 2. It's over and over and over again, right? And then she went on a weird Wreck-It Ralph 2 phase. Both the kids wanted to watch very specifically Wreck-It Ralph 2 over and over again. And then it was some other stuff here and there. And then it was Encanto for just months and months. That's all I want to watch is Encanto. And now Turning Red comes out. That's all I want to watch. So they're up there with my wife, and my dad's up there too because he's spending the weekend with us. Just loving it. Non-stainless folders under $100 that aren't D2. Well, when I think of non-stainless folders, I mean, I don't know. A lot of under $100 folders are stainless. I'm trying to think of steels that are ingot, because it's probably going to be a non-powder form steel. I mean, there are some folders out there that are utilizing 95, which is it's plenty tough. It's not going to hold an edge worth a darn, but it's plenty tough and easy to sharpen. But I don't know. What do I think is the best beater steel? I don't know. If I'm going to thrash something and I'm going to mistreat it, it needs to be very balanced. So if you've ever read that article that Laren Thomas did on the best budget knife steel, he comes to the conclusion that properly heat-treated 14C28N is the best budget steel because of its rounded out. If you think about this, if you're going to beat on a knife, if you are truly going to beat on it, how important is edge retention? Really, ask yourself that. What's your definition of a beater knife? If it means that you're going to abuse it, then let me drop some facts on you here real quick. Edge retention does not matter. If you are going to abuse the knife, edge retention doesn't matter. So what you need to focus on are the other attributes. How tough is the blade? Is it stainless? Is it easy to sharpen? In the case of 14C28N, the answer is yes to all of them. So if you're going to abuse the knife, probably 14C28N. That's what I kind of agree with him. And he's got a lot of data. He's got a ton of data to back that up, right? Seriously, you get the best ratio between edge retention and toughness in existence, whatever steel it is, right? Throw it on a job site for one day. Instead of your hook blades or your utility blades, right, cutting sheetrock or shingles, or use the toughest, the highest edge retention to toughness ratio blade on that type of stuff in an 8-hour workday. It's done. It's not even going to take all day. It's going to take a few hours. The blade is done. It's done. The guy who asked the question's like, I did not need all of that. I did not need that complicated of an explanation. Oh, man. I have no idea what W2 Super Steel is. W2? Hang on. Who makes it? I've never heard of that. Hold on. W2 Super Steel. W2. Now, I'm not getting anything with that definition off of Google. I've never heard of it. Is it powder form? Is it ingot? Carpenter, bowler, crucible, zap? Who is it? A very old tool steel. Okay. W2. So is it like, it's a tool steel, like an air hardened tool steel, that kind of old school. I don't know. Tool steel, water quench, common carbon steel. It's probably fine. I mean, it's the type of steel that it sounds like, from what I'm getting from chat, the definition here, it sounds like the type of steel that you would thrash, that you would use to, like heavy impact cuts against stuff that you probably shouldn't be cutting, right? It sounds like the toughness is going to be pretty high. So if you're going to, if you're going to be prying with it, which you shouldn't be, stuff that you should not be doing with a knife, that's probably the type of steel that you'd want on it. But there are so many steels in that category that you could use, right? So a non-specialty steel. Corey Pittman, if you download the Knife Steel Composition app on your phone, you can look through all of that really easily. If you're wondering about like specific grades of steel and how many there are in a certain category, it pulls information from Z Knives, which you can just go to the website on your phone. But yeah, there is a Knife Steel Composition app that is very useful and has some pretty good generic information, and shows the composition and, kind of where the steel originated from. Just some kind of generic, it's not going to be a full like iceberg kind of readout, but if you want tip of the iceberg information and a little bit of detail, it's a pretty good application on your phone. I'm waiting for a Magna Cut update. So what I'm seeing with Magna Cut is that most people who are working with it right now are, from what I understand, Laren Thomas has given 2 options for the heat treat. If you want what he refers to as a well-rounded, Rockwell hardness, he recommends 61 to 62. He doesn't define what that means. He just says well-rounded. But then he says if you want it to, if you want the scale to lean towards edge retention, which that's what people want, right? We hail edge retention when it comes to spending hundreds of dollars on our knives. 63, 64. It's more expensive to do that, so most people seem to be opting for 61, 62, which is turning into the same dilemma that we see with M390. We see commercialized M390, Rockwell hardened to 59. It does not perform as well as the recommended 61 to 62. When I say perform as well, I mean strictly in the edge retention department, which is still justified, right? Right. But it's like when we hear claims like Pete from Cedric Aneda had excellent results with his fixed blade in Magna Cut that was likely hardened to 63 or 64. If you get a Magna Cut blade that is hardened to 61, it will not perform that way. It won't. But it's going to be a lot tougher and easier to sharpen, right? So it's one of those things. So I kind of want to test Magna Cut, like the stuff that I have versus the Magna Cut that comes in 63, 64. And I want to see how well does the edge hold up and how likely is it to chip, right? Because if it's got really good edge retention, but it's chipping like crazy, well, it's like, well, I don't know if I wanted that eye, right? So can we stop talking about like Demco's price 80 20.5? Just like, can we stop? Just don't buy it. Like, my God. I don't like the body style of the 1999 Mercury Sable. I don't like it. But you know what? Somehow I managed to move on with my life. I don't know how, right? It was such an important thing that definitely directly affected me, but I managed to move on. Seriously. Like, my God, just so much of that. We're talking about overpriced. There are hundreds of examples of knives that are massively overpriced, right? But because the Demco 80 20.5 has the spotlight on it, people are, no, I can't get out of bed today because the damn 20.5 is too much money. Shut up. Sick of it. Sick of it. Don't buy it. I promise you'll wake up tomorrow and nothing about your life will have changed. Nothing. Paul, I'm just messing with you, man. I'm just messing with you. I'm just being... If you didn't know, my name in real life is actually Richard, a.k.a. Dick. And I go by that. If you meet me at Blade Show ever, you can call me Dick. That's really my name. And I've been going by Dick since I was in 7th grade. So sometimes I act a little bit that way. It's not. I just I mean, it's like, as a YouTube creator, like, you do, like, I can sit here and pretend like I'm not affected by anything. But yeah, I definitely have triggers, right? I see so many comments every day, and I just see the same thing over and over again. So there definitely is stuff that gets to me, and it's like, oh my God, I just don't want to read this, right? I want to read something interesting. You know? So then, yeah, there's definitely stuff that can work you up. As much as YouTube creators we all try to pretend that we're just all cool on the inside all the way to the core, right? Just like a perfectly cooked Hot Pocket. We're still cool on the inside, right? No. Most of us are seething about some ridiculous, overstated thing that we keep seeing over and over and over and over again, right? Our egos keep us, displaying. Oh well, we don't. We are simply unaffected by this nonsense. Nope, we are affected. We definitely get bothered for sure. Oh man. Hey, Treddy's in here. What's up, man? Make sure you subscribe to it. What it looks like in there as 7 Ready. Wonderful content. Super cool dude. 7 REDI on YouTube. Make sure. My insides are molten lava. Just like Tri-State. You subscribe to Tri-State too. Whenever I make a Hot Pocket, the thing is molten lava on the outside and there's an ice ball on the inside. Or is it opposite for you? Did Kansas lose? Excuse me. Slicer for sure. Josiah Brown. My least favorite blade shape for the Hinder knives is the recurve. That's my least favorite blade shape. It's fine. Don't feel like your knives your recurves are less valuable because it's Metal Complex's least favorite blade shape. Don't feel that way. But I like the slicer the best. Do I like the Gerber 06? It's Gerber's best looking knife for sure. Is that the Fast? Don't they make that in the USA? Yeah, it's pretty like aggro tactical. It's like mid 2000s aggro tactical from Walmart, right? You know, the first time we all saw the Gerber 06 because it was the nicest knife in the Walmart case. You look in there, you see they're like, oh, buck 110. Yeah, I've seen that before. Some weird, skeletonized stuff, more Gerber stuff, Bear Grylls stuff. What is that? Holy crap! Let me see that one. Is the Gerber 06. And the Kershaw, yeah, definitely. Show that KNP Mini Tempest for sure, man. Here, hang on. Oh, boy, it sinks all the way in. Right here. Oh, yeah, look at that, huh? Best front flipper in existence. The Mini Tempest. And this is the special... The long Tanto purple fat carbon M398 Mini Tempest. Yeah. You gotta like that long description exclusive stuff, right? K&P, man, they know how to do an exclusive, right? If they're gonna do a special version of something, right? The Knife Nuts Podcast Edition whatever is what you want. When they do an exclusive, it's cool. What time is it? Guys, I tried to make it for a whole hour. Hang on. Just please excuse me for one moment. Un momento. Okay, sorry about that. I'm back. Yes, I washed my hands. Stop asking me that. Hey, can I say thank you to everybody for something real quick here? Aside from, general channel growth, which is absolutely owed to the people who watch my channel. A little over a month ago, I was celebrating. I was very excited, and I'm. Some of you were probably in this live stream when I said this. I said, "This is the first time I have ever seen the channel reach 1 million views in 30 days." I was so pumped about that. 1 million views in 30 days. That had never happened. Well, just last night, the analytics showed that in the last 30 days from right now, just 1 month later, the channel reached 2.1 million views in 30 days. It literally doubled. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching my content. I don't know what's happening. All of my videos seem to be up a little bit. Subscriber counts are, a normal month for me is 2,500 to 3,000, and the last 30 days have been about 8,600, which would explain why we went from 80 to 90K so quickly. But yeah, wow, I'm just beside myself. 2.1 million is just freaking insane. I just can't believe that. Very exciting. So I'm glad that people are enjoying. I'm glad that there's new people. If you're new to my channel, and you got brought here by something that was being shown to you by YouTube, then welcome. I've also been demonetized twice. So it's proof that YouTube does not drop the guillotine on channels permanently. They demonetized me twice, remonetized me, and now are actively recommending my content, which is a bright light in the darkness for some channels that feel like they've been shadow banned by YouTube. For some reason, YouTube gave my channel a second chance and a third chance, and it is thriving. So I'm very, very proud of the growth. I'm just really excited. So, fixed blades are better. I mean, they're more capable. They're just not as cool. Like most of the time, it's just not. It's hard to fidget with a fixed blade on the couch. You know what I mean? It's just hard. You got to put it back in the sheath every time you get up for a drink of water because you don't want to leave a fixed blade out just on the cushions. Why was I demonetized? I don't know. Twice they got me for, get this. You guys remember what they got me for? Firearms is what they got me for. Twice. Firearms. Anybody in the chat, can you count? Do you remember roughly how many uploads I've done about firearms? Just off the top of your head, just give me a rough estimate of how many uploads you think I've done that have anything to do with firearms. Exactly. None. They hit me twice, and I had to, finally, they had an actual person look into it and reach out to me and say, we're not really sure why. We're not sure why the algorithm is targeting your channel, but we're going to find a way to undo this. They recommended that I change the way that I lead my descriptions. For some reason, it may have been providing links to websites that are associated with communities that may or may not be into firearms. So, for example, the algorithm may maybe be lumping guns and knives together. And since my descriptions were essentially just starting off with affiliate links leading to knife websites, it may have been a flag to the artificial intelligence that is the algorithm of YouTube. They suggested that I change my descriptions to be a little bit more unique for each video, which was a good idea. I wasn't really putting anything in the description about the video itself. I was like, well, they can watch the video if they want. It seems to have fixed the problem. So twice. Yeah, they got me twice. But they gave it back and they paid me. This is the truth. YouTube demonetized me, but not only did they remonetize me, they paid me all of the money that I was owed during the demonetization period, which was pretty cool. So I don't believe that I'm not just going to sit here and say that everything that YouTube does is correct. In fact, I think there are a lot of issues with YouTube, but they were fair with me. That's the official record of this channel. They were fair. They said, sorry, fix this. Here's your money back. That's what they did. So $39 was good. They gave me my $39. Oh man, it's funny. Oh man, $39. That'll get you a nice case of Gatorade, though. It's hey, I was owed. Oh man, so funny. James K. No, don't quote me that. It's not what I said. I'm not going to sit here and be like, because YouTube treated me nicely, that all they do is serve justice. No, I think they have been horribly unjust to many channels. They dished Talon Sai. Man, they really, I can't believe YouTube was terrible to Talon Sai, and a number of other channels, but there's just so much unfairness, and they depend so much on an algorithm, right? It's not some greasy guy sitting behind a table going, blah, blah, wow, wow, wow. That's not what's happening. It's an algorithm that doesn't understand. It's like, I think that I'm programmed to think that this is offensive to a general audience, but whatever. So there you go. Red flag. Sorry. Like, that's what it is. It's an AI. It's an algorithm, right? I'm glad that he's still going though, right? Like, Talon should be getting like tens of millions of views a month, and YouTube has really buckled him. And like, that guy has done so much work and deserves so much more attention on YouTube. His content is awesome, and obviously he's got a ton of people subscribing to him, but they buckled him hard. And it just, yeah. I still watch. Like, I don't need a notification. I go and check, right? It's just like you guys. A lot of times you don't wait on a notification. You go to the channels you like to watch and you refresh. Did they upload today? That's what I do. So, what time is it? It's 1:03. Guys, let's see what the sub count is as of right now. Hang on. My channel. Where am I at? Come on. Reload. And it says 88.2. I'm sure I can go into my actual... I'm sure I can't see the chat right now, so just hang on. I'm sure you guys are already telling me, but I want to look it up for myself. How do I freaking do my... I don't know. I don't know how to do this. What is wrong? No! Why is it taking me there? It's taking me to Neve's live. Hang on. I'm sorry. I didn't realize Neves was live right. That's my fault because I went later than I normally do. I never explained that. I went later than I normally do. Anyways, what's my actual... Does it not say? Anyways, 88.2, probably zeroing in on 88.3. So that means that the channel is roughly 1,800 subs away from, 90,000. And at the current rate of 250 to 300 subs a day, it means that next weekend will likely be when we do the giveaway. And like I said, the prizes are stupidly epic. It's probably the highest value of stuff that I've given away, not just in terms of like the general the general, you know, like the prices on the knives, like retail. I mean, I'm talking like value, secondary value. I'm giving rare things away, things that I want to keep for myself, things that people are frustrated because they can't get their hands on, and I have multiple things to give away that are hard to get. New sub, James K. What's up, man? Thanks, man. I appreciate that, and thanks for the donation. Should I stop reporting your posts? Oh, man. Let's see. You guys, it sounds like you're pressuring someone to buy a knife. Oh my gosh, the ad that's playing right now is insane. Oh my gosh, skip ad. Yikes. I would get demonetized for describing the ad that's playing on my channel. You want to talk about multi-layered irony? YouTube would literally demonetize me for describing the ad that I was just watching on my own content. Ben Rides Bicycle says, just became a patron. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. That's cool. Just so everybody knows, I do once a week exclusive content on Patreon, and I also do a once a month exclusive giveaway mystery box on Patreon. And there are lots of different tiers. You can support me however you want, but I do have a $1 tier for people who just want to gain access to that, and you gain access to all of it, everything, all the content I've created, giveaways, all that stuff. And then also I exclusively, when I do knife sales, I only ever sell my knives on Patreon, and I cut massive discounts. I never, ever try to profit off of my own stuff. So if you'd like to support this channel and gain access to a bunch of cool stuff that can benefit you, check out my Patreon. There's a link in the description. Peter Miller, welcome to Knights Around Knights. Raise your swords. All hail Peter Miller. Enjoy the badges and swords, friend. MC here, the goat knife order. I'd be a lot worse if I didn't give stuff away. I can't imagine if I had not, like, all the stuff that I've given away, right? A lot of it, it's like I'm giving it away just to save space. Em, thanks for the donation. Been awesome watching you grow the last 3 years. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. It's been so crazy. Well, let's flip all the knives, name them, and get going. There's the, of course, the Hawk Deadlock Model C, the greatest OTF in existence. We have the Savivi Conspirator. Can I share something with you guys? So this is the Eric Oakes Curvaceous, which is actually a pretty, kind of a cool, different Wee knife, right? Pretty sweet knife. James K, welcome to Knights Around Knights. Razor Swords for James K. Thanks for joining. Pretty cool, right? You want to see the box that it came in? Think about the shape of that knife, right? What's he talking about? It couldn't possibly be that offensive. Come on. Who carved this out? Who carved this out and They knew, man. There's no way. Look at this. It fits perfectly. Oh, hey, it's a spot to get your finger in there, right? But, oh, man. That's great. Yeah. That one's in the thumbnail. We'll see if that gets me demonetized. We have the Hinderer, the new Hinderer Project X. We have the Dan Carahan 904, production 904. We have, I forgot about, to talk about the lights tonight, but we have the Jim Skelton and Focus Works Cylon flashlight. Far and away the most expensive flashlight I own. We have the production prototype Factor from Winter Blade Co. The D-Rocket Talon, super cool. We have the Grant Gripper, very nice. We have the DLC textured Malibu. We have the Riot Jack 1.5 Cranes Cutlery exclusive in full Mokatai, one of my new favorite knives in the collection. Of course, the Zirconium side click pen from Tactile Turn. And we have the Victorinox Spirit Tool MX. God, this thing is nice. It's so nice. 140 bucks, one of the nicest multi-tools I've ever handled. Lee Simmons, welcome to Knights Around Knights. Razor Swords for Lee Simmons, all hail. Lee Simmons. Ab Superman, thanks for donation. If you retire the scalpel, would you want a custom-built opener with silliness asking for a friend? It's a really nice gesture, but I already have somebody doing it, and it's the same guy who granted me the scalpel. So I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret here. This guy is going to be retired, but only to be replaced by a new scalpel that is made by the same guy. And this one that has unboxed almost every knife on the channel will be given away. One of you could win this, but I'm going to give away the dedicated unboxing tool. Just you guys know that. I have not shared that with anybody else yet. So, Will B, welcome to Knights Around Knights. Razor Swords, you're already doing it for Will B. The dull, yeah. And I'll tell you what, as an added bonus, I will give it away unsharpened. I will give it away just absolutely dull as a spoon. The scalpel that caused so much frustration for millions, literally millions of people were so frustrated by it. You can win it. Oh, man. I don't know why it's funny that so many people were mad about that. That's the best. Oh, man. Okay. Guys, this has been a fun chill. These are I always say this when we're not doing giveaways and we're just hanging out and talking knives and whatever. These are my favorite types of live streams. This is a perfect example of why I do this, the part of this that I love, interacting with people who love this stuff for the same reasons that I do. You guys are awesome. That's going to be it tonight. Hope you enjoyed. If you're new, I hope this was a fun experience. This is a pretty typical live stream for me, so if you enjoyed it, we'll do it again next weekend. In fact, next weekend will probably be a huge event, so make sure you don't miss it. I hope you all have an excellent rest of your evening and an excellent rest of your weekend.